Hey folks, it's Tom, your frugal prepper. So I just kind of getting all of my knives out and looking at them. And I get quite the little collection of knives. I literally used to just carry one of these Gerber Vises. And sometimes I would carry this guy as well. And I used to carry this guy. And I've kind of... I don't know how this happens, but you start collecting stuff after a while. So, some other things that I've gotten is this Kershaw Cryo, which is a really good knife. I've had one before, but it was taken from me. So now I have another one of these, and this is just a really good knife. It's got a really positive locking system on it there, and so in a lot of states, switchblades have some questionable legality. In Ohio, knife laws aren't statewide. It can vary from county to city, but in general, most knives are legal as long as you have to actually touch the blade to open them, which, you know, what they meant by that is like you have to do that. But this right here, this little bump, is actually part of the blade. So you have to touch that to open it. So that makes it legal and still gets you the fast opening knife. Now, I know that some uninformed people will think that's just so you can get it out quicker and stab people with it. And that's a part of it, right? If you have to defend your life. But, you know, the main thing is that you can open this one-handed. I can pull this out of my pocket while I got something in my other hand, and then I can open my knife and work with this one-handed. So that's the main advantage there. This is the stone-washed version, so it's kind of looks on the edges like it's got a little wear to it. But it's got a really strong pocket clip. In fact, I had to pry on this a little bit just to loosen it up just a little bit to get it to go on my pants. And the little thing here is reversible, so you can put it on this side and you can put it on the other sides if you want to carry it in your other pocket or however you want to do it. I just leave it in its factory position. I carry this in my right pocket so I can pull it out and get to it that way. It has pretty good choke points so that your hands won't slip off of the blade, hopefully. And this will keep, you know, this little tab helps keep your finger from sliding up on the blade. But all in all, this is a really good knife. I don't know like what the kinds of tool steel and all that are, but this thing holds an edge like crazy. It's razor sharp, and it really keeps its sharpness over time. And then when I ordered that, I decided to order this one, which is the Cryo 2 Tanto. Now it's a little bit bigger here than the regular Cryo. It's a little longer, as you can see, and a little bit thicker. And it also has the same opening mechanism. This is the Tanto Blade, and you can see how it's shaped a little different. Now, I don't know exactly what the advantage is to having a Tanto blade versus a regular blade or whatever, but hey, I just bought it. Seems like it might be a little harder to sharpen that way, but it's a good knife too. You can get a full 3-finger purchase on it, and it definitely has a little better grip on it because you can really choke down on it. But it is heavier and it is bigger in your pocket. So when you work at a desk sitting all day, this gets kind of annoying to have that in your pocket. Which is what this did as well, right? It's just, this is even heavier, right? And it's long in your pocket. So, but this, you know, you have this spot here, which is not where you open it. This you can hook on your pants as you pull it out to automatically open it. But then you just push on this part down here, and it opens, and that is a part of the blade, so it keeps it legal here. I know some states you don't have any laws about opening knives, how they open or whatever, but this one is legal where I'm at. This is a tack force, I believe. I believe it says on the blade. Yeah, this is a tack force something or another there. But it does not hold an edge very well, but it will hold an edge enough. It's a pretty cheap knife with pretty cheap metal. But I've had this knife like longer than any of them. So it's a great knife if you have to use it to defend yourself. And then recently I got a couple of these Kbar TDI law enforcement knives. And they have quite a few different models of these. They have the serrated blade, the straight blade, the bigger blades. They have a detective model, which is a smaller blade. But it comes with this sheath that will hook around your belt, and it's movable from side to side and everything. But you can basically just pull that out of the sheath and you're good to go. This one's rated, as you can see. It's also like razor sharp. It is a painted blade, so it would scratch up pretty easy, but I don't care if it scratches up, as long as it would get the job done. This is like an emergency self-defense knife is what this is. And it hooks around a standard 2-inch duty belt. So when I do occasionally wear a 2-inch belt, I can wear this. But this is not normally a knife that I carry, just because my carry system is a little thin, fabricy, stretchy belt and a pocket carry. So I don't really have the belt to wear this. But you could maybe take this off, put some paracord through it, and carry it like around your neck if you wanted to. This is another Kbar knife I have. This is the Shark Bite. It comes with this little holster. I have a piece of paracord around it so that I can hang it around my neck under my shirt. You can reach under there, pop it out like so. And it is 100% made from plastic. It is not detectable by a metal detector. So if I am going somewhere where I know I'm going to have to go through a metal detector, I could put this on around my neck under my shirt, and I still have something that I could use to hopefully defend myself with. While it's not razor sharp, it's sharp enough that you could probably, disable an attacker with it. It's pretty cheap, and it's all 100% plastic. So that's kind of the philosophy I use behind that, is to take it into places where I have to go through a metal detector and still have something to defend myself with. And then I have several of these wallet knives. I keep one of these in my wallet, and this is a JMG credit card knife. You can see a link down below. I'll put links to all these that you can get on Amazon down below. But this, you just take this little plastic piece that's right here that holds that blade in, and you turn it, and then you can fold your blade out. Now this blade is just plastic riveted in here, so you don't want to get too crazy with it. But then basically you fold this around, and as you can see, this has another plastic spot and a recess spot that hugs the blade. And then you'll fold this small piece around, and they come all together like so, and they pop together, and it makes a emergency knife. It's pretty sharp, not the highest quality steel going on there, but it's sharp enough that you could cut something with it if you needed to. They make these without the metal reinforced pieces. I just think the metal helps it to have a little bit more strength, so I got the metal ones. It does come with this little plastic sleeve you can store it in as well. So for my multi-tools, my favorite multi-tool is the Gerber Vise, which is why you see 3 of them here, right? Can't have enough Gerber Vises. This is just the perfect tool for me. I'm a network engineer for my day job, and so I have little pliers, tools, with some little cutters right in the middle there. And this has a knife blade there. This is a serrated one. This has another knife blade right here, which is a non-serrated one. And you put those away so I don't cut myself. And then in this part of the handle, it has a flat tip and a piece you can use as a can opener, or you can use both pieces as a bottle opener. And then over here, it has a little flat screwdriver piece. And over here, it has a Phillips screwdriver bit that works really well on Phillips screws. And it has a little file right there. I use this tool, I use one of these every day, you know, for something. And so, the other tool I have here is the Leatherman Micra. This is a neat tool. It has a small ruler on it here. I don't know if you can see that or not. Let me see. It has a small ruler there. And you open it up, and it has a pair of scissors that work really well. It has a knife. Now, the bad thing about like all the Leatherman knives is they're not a double bevel blade. It's flat on this side, and it has its bevel on this side. It's sharp enough. It would just be nice if it was a double bevel blade like they are on the Gerber. It has a flat tip screwdriver piece, and it has a little like cuticle tool with a emery thing on this side. It has a small pair of tweezers. And this is how they do their Phillips. And this actually works pretty well, like on most Phillips screws, even though it doesn't have a little extra ridge like the Gerber does. And it has this, which is like a small flat tip, a can opener and a bottle opener thing. So pretty decent tool. I just don't carry this one as much because I don't need scissors as much as I need pliers. But I've had this tool for a good long time as well. Nice. I do have this little chintzy multi-tool, which I would think would break, but it just never does. It just is held up really well. It's got, you know, a bottle opener and a knife, and it has this little style mini Phillips, and has a little like saw blade for sawing. And here, this is actually a light, a little LED light that no longer works. I think it needs the batteries or something, but yeah, that's kind of just a big waste of space over there for me. But it's still a tool that I keep around, and I do actually use it. I've had it like, 10 years or more now. I do have this little Victorinox knife, which has a pretty good size blade. Oh man, this one needs oiled. I haven't used it in a while. Let me get this out here. Oh, man. There it goes. Okay. I have to get this thing oiled up. But it has this can opener or bottle opener and another knife, and it's got the scissors in here, right here. And it has a corkscrew, which I'm not even going to bother to take out. It also has a pair of tweezers right here, and it has room for something else here. I think there was originally a toothpick here, but that's gotten lost. And then this is something I found at a gun show, right? And it looks like a little chintzy Victorinox knife, right? Like a normal Victorinox, but it actually has something cool in it. It has a built-in thumb drive. And so this one is the 64 gigabyte thumb drive. This originally came with a 4 gigabyte. I spent the money and ordered the 64 gigabyte one from Victorinox to have it on there back when 64 gigabyte was still really expensive. Even more expensive for the Victorinox. It has a little blade that you can use for Phillips. A little emery cloth thing. It has a knife. And has a little pair of scissors. It's just, these are just really well made. This has a ballpoint pen that you can write with, and I do have refills for this. And it also has a small pair of tweezers that go in the handle. So this is a very handy thing for a network engineer to have. You can tell it was originally for Time Warner Telecom, but it ended up in a show, in a bin at the gun show, and I got it for like $5 or something. But yeah, that thumb drive really makes it handy, and you can click the thumb drive out of it if you want to too, so you don't have to leave your whole knife hanging on the USB port, which is pretty neat. Also, a great place if you need to hide some files from whoever you would need to hide them from. They won't ever find them here. I guarantee you, a police officer searching their house is going to look at it and be like, oh, that's a pocket knife. It's not going to be like, oh, that might be some crazy information on there we need to get. Yeah, don't ask how I know. So then I have this key knife right here. This is just a cheapy little key knife from Harbor Freight, but still pretty handy to have. So that's my collection of knives. I did actually order another one, and I'm waiting on it to come. But it's just a little, it looks like a little pill capsule that you unscrew, and it has a little tiny stubby blade on it. I figured that's something I can put on my keys and maybe get through a metal detector as well. So, again, the reason that I want to be able to take a knife through metal detectors, the main reason, so that I can work with my trauma kit that I keep in my cargo pants pocket. If I need to. I got a knife to open this with, to cut the tape with, to work with it. That's the main reason. So I don't need a very big knife. I just need something tiny that can cut this plastic and this tape. That's all I'm looking for. And, you know, because you know as well as I do that even places that have metal detectors, you know, I'm thinking like Kings Island, it would be so easy to slip some AK-47s into that place, right? Because they're only guarding the entrances. There's a whole line of fence around that place, right? You could go slip those through the fence, walk back in the woods, go get them, and, you know, somebody could just really hurt a lot of unarmed people. So I always take my little trauma kit and try to sneak a little knife in there with me. But yeah, that's my collection that's growing. I don't know, like my knives are pretty practical. I'm not really like nothing fancy where I'm just like, oh, look at that blade and it's this kind of tool steel and it's this and it's that and blah 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 and it's this kind of thing. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about all that. Like I want a knife to be sharp, I want it to cut, and I want it to work for its intended purpose. You know, this one's intended purpose is, yeah, I might open a package or something with this, but its mostly intended purpose is to stab somebody that's attacking me, right? And it will do that very well. You know, where this is kind of a little bit of everything. I'll use it to open packages and bags and stuff like that, but it's also a very capable knife for defending myself with, and I think it's just a little better quality. You know, same with this, right? Where these are primarily, you know, I'm not going to be taking this out to open a package with it. This would be for emergency self-defensive use. And, you know, this is clearly just for emergency self-defensive use because it probably wouldn't cut the tape on a package. It's not sharp enough. But it's something to have when you have to get into a, you know, to a criminal protection zone that's lined up with metal detectors and fake security guards that have no guns. You know, so that's what I got. I always like to carry my little snap-on screwdriver here to you. A lot of times I carry this, especially if I'm out in the driveway working on cars. These little screwdrivers just come in handy for all kinds of stuff. You can open a package with one of these. But, yeah. So, that's what I got. I'll talk to y'all later. This is Tom, your Frugal Prepper.